I'm going to talk to some of you about some things that are really real when it comes to taking care of things in your life. Um, I like to watch videos about people who choose ulterior lifestyles, about people who live off the grid, the van lifers, the homesteaders and things like that, because I find it very interesting how they go against conventional lifestyles and kind of just start from the bottom and just kind of build things and things like that. I find it very interesting. I'm not interested in doing it because that takes a whole bunch of energy, but I just find it very interesting and just to see how happy they are, and that's great for them. But understand this, people. Those people are doing work, okay? And they're doing it consistently. But there are some of you, okay, that actually are oblivious to the fact that they have obligations every single month. And the first of the month is going to come every single month regardless. And I have heard some of you say that you wish that you could just give everything up and live out of your car and everything will be okay because you're tired of having to deal with responsibilities all the time. Now, I think that's some dumb shit. I'm sorry. That's just being dumb. That's just being childish, and that's just being dumb. We all get tired. Today is my day off, okay? I'm tired, and I've got to go to work tomorrow. And there are days when I go into work, and I wake up tired because, that's just the way it is. Does that mean I hate my job? No, I'm not saying that at all. That's far from the truth. I like what I do. But there are just some days, and it's just associated with having to get up. There are just some days where you're like, you know what, I would just love to have the day off. And that doesn't mean that you hate your job, you hate your life or anything like that. There are just some days where you just don't want to get up. You want to do some other things and you want to play. It's just human nature. It has nothing to do with hating your life or anything like that. It's just some days you just don't feel like doing what you want to do. But you don't feel that way to the place where you feel like you want to just take off, give up everything because you don't feel like it and just throw your life away. The first of the month is going to come around every single time. You know what you need. Now, I'm a Maslowian theorist, and for those of you in previous audios, I mentioned about Maslow's theory. I posted a video on my Instagram about Maslow's theory. You might want to check it out. Where I talk about basic needs, and one of the basic needs is shelter. And for most of us, if you're a homeowner, kudos to you, but you still have obligations like taxes and property, so you still have that. But for most of us, we either have rent or a mortgage that we have to pay every month. If it's not every month, it might be every week, every 2 weeks. Whatever the arrangement is, you have a certain date that you have to pay that rent or mortgage. And if you don't, you are subject to be homeless, period. You don't have a roof. And that's not a situation you want to be in. Because once you become homeless, trust and believe me, it is hell to try to get somewhere to stay. And it's not a situation where, once you become homeless, it's not a situation where you're going to get a home the next week. Not your own. It's going to take a while. Because if it's due to finances, it's going to take a while to get yourself back together and actually get a roof of your own over your head. Now, going to live with somebody else, that might be easy within a week or whatever the case may be, but you're living under somebody else's roof as opposed to living in your own. So once you get your own, no matter where you are, you could be living in a room, a studio, hotel room, mansion, condo, whatever the case may be, your own living space that you're paying for on a regular basis, is due on a certain day. That's it. There's nothing else to talk about. There's nothing else to think about. There's nobody to think about. That is your priority. That's the only shit that you should have on your mind. Number one, when it comes to money, any money that you have, as far as paying bills, is making sure you get that roof taken care of before you think of anything else. And I hate to say this because it seems like it would be the simplest thing that comes to people's minds. But when I go out in this world dealing with these people and dealing with customers on the phone and interacting and just seeing how people behave, folks are not acting like that. They're not acting like that. And I don't get it. We have this thing called weather in the world, people. We have this thing called weather. And man cannot control weather. Okay? If you don't have a roof over your head, you are subject to the weather. You're subject to the elements. So if you're outside and you do not have a roof over your head, do you want to be outside with no roof over your head and your belongings, and you're in the rain and you're in the snow, subject to natural disasters like hurricanes and floods and tornadoes and earthquakes and wildfires, things like that? And for some of you, you do not understand the value of having a roof over your head. And some of you just do not care. And you're not making it a priority to keep that shelter over your head. And for some of you, and I hate to say this, I was going to make this a short one, but this just came to my mind. Some of you are purposefully jeopardizing your shelter by allowing the wrong people in your life. The wrong people. How many times I have cut people out of my life because I knew that they were going to be a liability to my livelihood if I continued associating with them. I knew they were going to be a liability. And I'm going to tell you how. Allowing this person to take up so much time in my life, time-wise, that I wouldn't be able to get enough sleep at night so I can go into work to do my job to the best of my ability, so I can start fucking up things at my job and lose my job, so I wouldn't make enough money to keep a roof over my head and lose my roof. How about that? And some of you guys are doing that. Some of you guys have a troublesome mate who is probably keeping you up at night one way, form, or fashion, where you can't get any sleep, and you're going into work, whether it be manufacturing, cashiering, or doing some office job where it requires your full attention, and you are messing up, and you are one step from losing your job. And some of you have already lost your job and lost jobs and lost jobs, and therefore you are losing your income, and you are getting behind in your rent, you are getting behind in your mortgage, and you are running the risk of getting kicked out of your home because of this person. They are ruining your life, and you won't let them go. And the minute that you let them go, you can sleep at night, but you don't see it. And I'm talking to somebody right now because I've been down that road. And I learned a long time ago, the minute that I get hint of a person that is going to interfere with my paper to the point where I can't even get enough rest where I can go to work the next day, their ass got to go. They've got to go because they never cared about me and they never considered me as a human being. They've got to go. They don't love me. They're a non-factor. They've got to go. Get rid of them. Let them ruin somebody else's life. And another thing, if they're a part of your life and they really care about you, they should be helping you take care of that obligation anyway. You shouldn't have that person in your life anyway, living in your house if they're not helping you contribute. That's another thing. Now, see, I'm about to step on some toes right now because I preached on this before. And yes, I use the term preach, and I really hate to do that, but Okay. Some of you got folks that are with you right now. Some of them are family. I hate to say this. Been living in your house. They've been getting income. And you're still not asking them to contribute. You're still not asking them to contribute. And you know they've been getting money. You're still not asking them to. And they've been in your house 6 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years, while they're going through this with the baby mama or the baby daddy, or they're going through this job and that job. They'll stay at a job long enough for this, that, and the other and get fired, and then hang around for a while, and then you get into an argument, and then they'll turn around and get another job, and then they get fired, and then they get into an argument and then disappear and come back, and then they go get another job, and then they get fired, and it's just a cycle, back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Nobody else want them, but you keep taking them back in the house. This can be your son, this can be your daughter, this could be your grandson, this could be your granddaughter, this could be your cousin, this that you were raised up with since you were little. This could be your brother, this could be your sister. This has been going on for 6 months, a year, 2 years, some of y'all 5 years, but you don't want to let them go because they're your blood. And they're sitting up there eating up all the food in the refrigerator, letting all kind of folks in and out your house, probably while you're gone, you don't even know anything about. Stuff missing out your house, and your electric bill is 2-3 times what it was. Your water bill is 2-3 times of what it used to be before you were by yourself. You probably can't even go to sleep at night because there's so much noise because this person's up all night. Hell, no, I don't see why not, because their ass ain't got to go to work the next day, but you do. And then if you got a car, because they ain't got one, they always taking your car, running all the gas out of it and everything else, probably bringing in speeding tickets under your name, all this stuff, and hasn't given you any money towards any bills. And when it's time for you to ask for something, they got an excuse. And this has been going on for too damn long. And your crazy butt every Sunday is running over to the Temple Church Mosque, running over there to the altar every single Sunday, asking the prayer team to pray for you and asking the Lord to help you. And nothing's happening, and you wondering what, talk about, oh, I'm just like Job, I'm suffering. You ain't just like no Job suffering. Hush. You ain't just like no Job suffering. Hush, stop. You know what? Y'all getting on my nerves with this business. Every time you're going through a long suffering, you want to say you like Job. Will you shut up with that? Half of y'all don't know what you're talking about. Stop it. Half of y'all long suffering because you won't let go of the behaviors that you're stuck on that you know you ain't got no business doing. And half of you are long suffering with the same problem because you refuse to listen to what God's been trying to tell you for the longest time. You need to cut them associations with them no good ass people. And I hate to say it, everybody in our family, all of us, excuse me, I got a frog in my throat. All of us have them lazy ass people that don't want to do nothing. All of us have somebody in the family, every time you turn around, they ain't got no money. All of us have somebody who's that proverbial pothead, but every time turn around asking for some money. I'm saying this because I got them in my family. You don't let these people move in with you. All of us got that one person that refuses to get an education and refuses to further themselves, but every time you turn around, they want to get something off of you. Got them in my family, but I don't let them live with me, and I darn sure don't loan them any money. I have no reason to lie. It's full disclosure over here, people. For those of you who are new to the channel, please listen to the other videos in this channel and you'll see what I mean. Ain't no shame in my game. But some of you are doing this because you want to be, oh, well, I've all they got left. That's the reason why you're all they've got left. Think about it. How come you the only one in the family they can come to? Because they done fucked up with everybody else. They done burned all the bridges. See? You have an obligation every single month, regardless of who's eating up your food in your refrigerator and laying on your sofa and using up all the hot water in the shower every morning, knowing when your ass got to work and they ain't got to go nowhere. You still have to pay them bills every single month. So you better start thinking about that. Now, that's all I've got to say about that. You got to be realistic about what you've got to do. And it gets hard sometimes, people. I know. We all get into a little pinch sometimes, but we got to do what we got to do. And it's reality. It's life. It's part of being grown and taking care of what we got to take care of. It is what it is. We don't have time for no bullshit. So get these little notions out your head about just throwing everything away and just running away from situations. Clean up the mess that is going on and getting away from all that crap, and maybe it'll be a little bit less pressure when the first of the month rolls around. That's all I'm saying. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. Peace to every single one of you.